Joining me now is local artisan Aisha Formanski talking about her beautiful jewelry, and I love just the texture and feel of it, and we're going to talk about what inspired you to create your own jewelry. How did you get started? 20 years you've been doing this?
Oh my goodness, for so long. I started as a little girl, and after high school went to school to be a silversmith, so metal has spoken to me for a really long time. Let's start down on this end, and then we'll kind of cruise down this way. A couple of years I wrote a book called New Directions in Punched Metal Jewelry. Punched metal jewelry is also known as stamping on metal, and what that means is that you use steel stamps and a hammer to drive the stamp into metal to create impressions. Now in my book I teach you how to create patterns all over metal, and then 20 projects to use that sheet metal.
Okay, I like that idea. Okay, now as you said, you focus on sterling and on metal a lot, but you also use a lot of natural stones. Where do you get the stones, and what attracts you to metals and stones together?
Well, the truth is that I actually travel to Arizona one time a year to go gem shopping, which is like the best week of my year, right? Just going and buying gemstones. And I'll show you some of those pieces down here. These are all one-of-a-kind pieces. They're sterling silver with a lot of turquoise, gold drusies. We have some chrysocolla. Here you can see I'm very drawn to blues and greens.
Point out what some of those stones are.
Sure. So here are the gold drusies, and that texture you touched on earlier before. And then this is turquoise. This is Sleeping Beauty turquoise from Arizona. It's very sought after turquoise.
Do you find these stones in shops? Or are you, you know?
I'm buying these from stone cutters, who are actually rock hounds that go out and find the stones and then cut and polish them. And I'm buying from those sellers. Okay,
and you also make custom jewelry for customers. Explain that.
I do a lot. For example, these spinner rings here. I'm going to give one of these a whirl. The rings rotate here.
Perfect for people who need to fiddle with their fingers a little bit.
Exactly. I do these custom a lot because you can do a phrase around the band or inside the band. Lots of people like to do secret messages to themselves. So I'll stamp a word or phrase, kids' names, anniversary dates in any of my jewelry. For example, this bracelet here, this is what I call amongst the trees or amongst the woods cuff. So this is a perfect example where I could stamp a phrase on the inside of the bracelet for someone.
I like that.
Yes.
You also have free online tutorials to teach people actually the art of silversmithing or jewelry making.
Yeah. So I teach for a company called beacheducation.com, and there are over 100 free classes there for people to watch. Now, if you're more hands-on kind of person, come on over here. I teach locally at Quench Jewelry Arts in Northeast Minneapolis. The building's located.
The name. Quench Jewelry.
Yeah, it's when you take hot metal and you quench it in the water. It's called. It goes tss. So I teach at Quench. It's in the Casket building in Northeast Minneapolis. Here are two samples of the classes that I teach. This is a twisted cuff class where we actually twist the wire in the torch's flame. It's a pretty exciting class and good for beginners. And then this is my folded heart class, which is very popular. It's also a very fun project.
Such a variety of jewelry.
Yeah.
I love it, and I love the texture and the stones
and
the metal together. Aisha Formanski, thanks for being here this morning.
Thanks so much for having me.
And you can find Aisha's jewelry, Aisha, at Art World this weekend. Don't forget that. That's happening in Northeast Minneapolis. Can't wait for that. For more information on classes, also her books and upcoming events, you can go to everthinejewelry.com.